Hi everyone, it's a pleasure to see you all. I see so many people here. Ronnie, Xavier, Yevyen, City, it's been a while again. It's really great to be with you, and it's yeah. So the competition started on Wednesday, and we were really happy to all have you with us, and we had a great time. So thank you very much for being with us. Thank you very much for being on the competition and to join the DAO. Hi Grace. Adam is typing. Hi guys. Hi Adam. So we had some couples of questions. So I suggest to start now. Yes. So let's go. Without further ado, let me share my screen. Okay. This second Ask Me Anything session about the ADIA Lab prediction, ADIA Lab market prediction competition. So the first question.
Yeah, I guess I can take this one. Hello, everyone. I'm going to put the link of the documentation describing the evaluation. I guess we can go relatively quick on this, but the idea is that your prediction is scored against Spearman rank correlation, which is just a Pearson correlation, to understand it intuitively. It's a Pearson correlation evaluated between the rank vectors of your prediction and the target. So it's a distance that relates the ranks, the order of the entries of your vector, which is normalized in some way. Why? So before, why this is done on a uniformly distributed target. So the idea is that since we only care about rank, let's say it's not important about the amplitude, if we care only about rank, but just about the distribution of the entries. So uniform was the choice. At least that's our interpretation. Was the choice of this target. Why? There is some literature. So I put the link in the chat with the documentation describing this target. About the why, maybe people playing this tournament are not familiar with portfolio theory, let's say, but there are many ways to build a portfolio from a vector of information. The oldest one, the most traditional one, is modern portfolio theory, but by Markowitz in the 50s. And it relates the expected return and the volatility estimation to give you an optimality condition. After that, there have been other proposals, and I think this, I don't know, to me, the oldest literature on the topic of portfolio from ranks is from 15 years ago or so. I'm going to link a couple of papers by the same authors that generalize this Markowitz idea for ordering information. So that's the investment rationale. Then one can have many different ways. Hierarchical risk parity is another topic. Even before that, there's Black-Litterman allocation, which is, again, related to market. But let's say ranks can be used in some investment rationale to build optimal combination of investment objects. And that's why Spearman is a natural metric in this context.
Great.
And if I can add something, we really recommend using it as an objective function in your, of course, in your models. And there is a couple of notebooks already on the GitHub with how to do so.
Great. So let's go to the next question. That's we have had some. We received some submissions, guys. And I think they used all their cloud quota. So Jean, what can we do for that?
Okay, so the quota, the infrastructure quotas, the GPU quota and CPU quotas was designed to first make sure that the cost of the infrastructure doesn't explode. And second, to make sure that we can kind of protect the players, because by truncating these resources in weekly resources, we kind of make sure that nobody is burning all his competition credits in one mistake. We have seen the case arriving already. There is a couple of players that had this problem, and that's why we really encourage you to test your code locally first on the 5 moon. Make sure that it runs locally, that you have no bugs, that you pass through the training phase, through the inference phase. There is a command in the CLI that you can use in both notebooks and in a terminal. You just need to run in your working repository. You run this command, crunch test, and this will test your code locally. If and only if your code works locally, then you may consider pushing it. So we're truncating it. We truncated these resources in weekly resources, and the more people are getting aware about this truncation, the better it will be. Now, the plan was to reload and expand to add 5 hours every week of resources. So if you don't consume your resources on the first week, your 5 hours, you will end up with 10 hours on the second week and 15 hours on the third week. So let's say you have a model that will take a lot of time to run. Maybe be a bit patient and make sure that it will run under the next reload, so under 10 hours, and if that's the case, you will be able to run it next week. And I think that was the case of Jeremy, for example. I think Joachim also was asking this question. So for the moment, short answer is no. There is no way to expand the cloud quotas.
Good, I think it's clear. No way today to expand the cloud quota. So the question, I think, is pretty clear. When is the cloud quota resetting?
So it's resetting every Wednesday. Since the tournament started on Wednesday, every Wednesday we add 5 hours to your quota. So in 4 days now, next Wednesday, you'll have 10-hour cloud quota.
Great. So, legit question. Who has access to my code when it's submitted? The competition terms and condition doesn't say anything about IP protection. So actually, yes, the terms and condition of the platform says everything about IP protection. You can read it. You will find it. It's the platform terms condition, not the competition terms competition. But I sum up these terms and condition in 3 things to make it very clear for everyone. First, you own and will ever own the intellectual property of your submission. Second, you grant to CrunchDAO a license to use your submission for the performance of the tournament. And 3, this license can be terminated at any time for any reason or even without any reason. So the short answer is you have the intellectual property and you can just take it back whenever you want. Yes, so just to show you how it works, we will never share your code. There is an absolute Chinese wall between you and the client of the DAO. It's why we are here. So we have no idea what the data is for the ADIA competition. We don't have access to the dataset, and your model is specific to the dataset. So anyway, we don't see what we can do with the code. The code is no use for us. Is of no use for us. I think it's clear. If you have any other question, please ask your questions. We will answer it. So I hope everything's clear. Next question: how to get the data?
Yes, so many people had this problem. It's very simple. There is 2 ways to get the data. Either you are used to work with notebooks, either you're used to work with CLI, so command line interface. If you are used to work with notebooks, there is a notebook called Basic Submission. Just open this notebook and hit Maj Enter, I think 3 times, until you will get to the setup command. And in this setup command, there is a token that you need to take in the front end, so in the app of the CrunchDAO. This token is meant to protect the download of the data. There is a link in the notebook also. Just click the link and it will redirect you to where you can get that security token. This security token is resetting every 3 minutes. So that's a bit of a pain point for you guys. We know that, but that's a mandatory security measure. So if you set up your notebook and then you go to do something else and you come back and you try to rerun the cell, you will have to go back to the website, take the new token and re-put it in the comment. From that point, you hit another time, maj enter, and I think 2 or 3 cells later, this is a download of the data. So it is very simple. Just take it step by step and make sure to read everything that is said in this notebook. Now, if you are used to work with Python files and you don't like notebooks, there is this crunch load function that will just get the data. So you just pip install the CrunchDAO CLI. Once it's installed, you run the same command then in the notebook, crunch setup with your token. Then you will be able to run crunch load that will download the data. Then you have everything you need to start modeling. Once the modeling is done, pushing is as easy as downloading the data. Just run crunch push. It will get everything in the folder and push it on the server. So anyway, if you have any question, just hit us on Discord and we will be able to answer you. But please read the doc, read the notebooks. We put everything out there for you to be able to download the data.
Perfect. I think it's clear. I'm just putting the channel, the YouTube channel of Crunch in the chats to make sure that everyone can see it.
Yes.
Really
By the way, there is a great video on how to submit with CLI, and I think we'll do how to submit with CrunchBook with a notebook. CrunchBook is kind of cool. With a notebook, and you see it's super simple.
Good. Let's go to the next question. Cloud quota of 5 hours per week was not very clearly communicated. Any chance we could get it reset sooner? Haha, another kind of question. Okay, so I think we answered that question. Jean, maybe do you want to add something?
Now, maybe I can agree that maybe it was not clearly communicated. We put it on the front end now. It's right next to the bar of the construction. It will be reloaded. It's not only a reload that will happen. Again, you will get 5 more hours. So if you didn't consume your 5 hours this week, you get another 5 hours.
Very good. How many models can we select for out of sample scoring? Who wants to answer that question?
So yeah, just one actually. There is a reason for that. We want you to make sure that you have the best model and that you submit the best solution. There is a best solution, and if you are not sure about what is the best solution, then build an ensemble of the 2 best solution. And yes, we really want you to make sure that you are submitting the best work that you can do. And for that, we are requesting for you to submit only 1 model. And yeah, this is how it will go. Then also, this reflection about selecting what is the best submission should not be based on the leaderboard. The public leaderboards are just a very small sample of the data. It's mainly designed to keep some fun a little bit in the competition and help you to benchmark a little bit. But many of you that are competing in a Kaggle competition knows how tricky is this public leaderboard. You will see some super high scores on this leaderboard. Don't follow people that are pushing the model too hard. Maybe they are overfitting really hard on this very small part of data, submitting many times, and trying to score as high as possible. But then when we will be in the out of sample, you try to fit so well this little bit of timed, which is only 30 days, that when you will be confronted with the 300 others and it's 10 times more data, yeah, Xavier, don't FOMO, totally agree. When this huge amount of out of sample will arrive, your model will get destroyed if you only know how to do this, you know. So that's general remarks. I know that most of you know that and won't be tricked.
But yeah, as you said, let me underline again, if you have different ideas, you want to experiment with both, you have your quota and you can use it for different models, different ideas you push. And then if you believe the ensemble can work well, or a combination of these approaches in any sense, go for that.
And it also makes me think about the cloud resources, because people may think, okay, I have only 5 hours and you're talking about ensemble. How can I train many model under this amount of time? Well, remember, guys, there is this dynamic training function that we designed exactly for this purpose. So you can, when you are running something, you're starting a run, the last question is, how often do you want to retrain your model? And on that question, you can put 0, meaning that you don't want to retrain, or you can retrain every, let's say, 100 days. So that's designed for different participants. Some of you may want to play with very heavy model, and those models, they won't be able to retrain it all the time. Some people will use shallow model that will be super dynamic and that will be retrained at every date, you know. So please leverage this how often do you want to retrain, this training frequency, and adapt it to the kind of model you want. If you go deep, don't retrain too much.
Okay.
And if you do an ensemble, obviously you will not be able to train 10 model and ensemble it at every date. It will be consuming too much resources.
Great. Let's go to the next question. Is it possible to delete submissions?
I can take this one. No, it's not possible, but it should not even be necessary, because I think it's the next question about the scoring, but you are scored on the last submission, basically. So if you don't like previous submission, you can just ignore it.
Yes, and there is this 2 phase. One is submission, other one is runs. Nobody's seeing what you submit. You can submit as many times as you want. No, it's 5 times a day, by the way. You can submit 5 times a way, but if you are not, like, you don't need to delete it. You just keep it there, and it's no problem. Then you cannot delete neither a run. Once you run something, the score will be in your track record, but only the latest score will be displayed on the leaderboard.
Ronnie is asking, can you restart the quota 5 hours quickly, or is there plan to add more? So I think, Ronnie, we already replied to that question. Anyway, don't worry, because we will put this video on YouTube and you will be able to see the replay. So feel free to, and it will be Wednesday, the reset here. So just worldwide, Jeremy is asking same question: which of my submission will be selected for the out of sample scoring? Matteo just answered. It will be the last submission that will be taken into account.
Mm-hmm. So you can come back from the overfitting. That's a goal. If you end up too high, then you will be say, okay, that's not reasonable. Let's submit something that will generalize.
Is there a size limit for the resources folder?
Yes, I can take this one also. It's 5 gigabytes, and so yes, there is. It's 5 gigabytes.
Perfect. Some people have a score on the leaderboard, but 0 successful run. How is it possible? I guess, I mean, I'm asking the question because
yes, it's just it's just a trick from the front end. What's happening is that the score is already computed, but the run is not yet fully validated by the system. So yes, it ran, you get a score, but it's not yet tagged as a successful run. So there is a small lag that if you don't refresh the page, you end up on the website, you can end up with this 0, which make absolutely no sense. But no worry, it's not a hack. It's just that there is a little bit of lag. Hit Command R, refresh your page, you'll see this number update.
Good. Next question. Sorry, it was the last question, actually. It was the last question. We don't have any other question for now. We have another Ask Me Anything session. Basically, it will be next week. And we will hold Ask Me Anything session every month. So don't panic if you have any questions. We are here for you. We are here for you on the Discord. We are here for you as well on the discourse forum.crunchDAO.com. We are here for you as well. If you have any question, you can even write an email. I didn't receive any. I think Discord is a way better way to ask your questions or discourse. But yeah, we are waiting just for your answers, and we will make sure that every single question is answered.
Yeah, it would be great that you guys use the forum a bit more, because if you expect a long question, a long answer or a detailed answer, it's hard to give it on Discord, because it will not stay. So it's a bit, we don't want people to re-ask the same question again and again. So don't hesitate to post something so we have the space to give you a nice answer with everything you need. That's the goal of the Discord.
Perfect.
Of the Discord, sorry, the forums.
Okay, thank you very much for taking part into this Ask Me Anything session. Thank you, everyone. This will be, of course, uploaded to YouTube in a few minutes. And if you have any other questions, please feel free, reach out. Have a great day. Bye-bye.